can do something like that. We did
I'm
the top.
just curious what you're thinking.
Hmm.
Hello, Talkin' Fight fans. Welcome once again to another exciting episode of a special episode on boxing and the Olympics, featuring yours truly and Christian from the Friday night panel. And today, I believe you have Canada in your crosshairs.
Oh, well, yeah, it was a good time. We talked a little bit about the hometown crowd and specifically about Canadian boxing and our medals over the years. We brushed a little bit over the top 10 countries for medal holders, and we're not quite there just yet. We've got a few more medals to go before we crack that list. But I thought it was worth taking a look into today. So I thought we'll jump right in here today. Talk a little bit about Canada's Olympic history, obviously pre-Tokyo. A lot of today's information is coming directly from Canada's Olympic site, olympic.ca. So Canada has a rich history of success that dates back to Antwerp in 1920, where Canadian athletes walked away with 5 medals. Welterweight Albert Schneider won gold, bantamweight Cliff Graham, as well as middleweight Art Prudhomme, each took home silver medals. Lightweight Clarence Newton and a middleweight Mo Herskovich each won a bronze in Antwerp in 1920. So that was the first of 4 games in which Canada would win multiple boxing medals, later doing so in Los Angeles in 1984, where we took home 3, Seoul in 88, another 3, and Barcelona in 92 with 2. The next time Canada won a gold medal was at Los Angeles in 1932, and that was courtesy of bantamweight Horace Lefty Gwynn. It would be 52 years before Canada won another boxing medal, when boxing heavyweight Willie DeWitt, as well as light middleweight Sean O'Sullivan, won silver, the latter in a controversial loss to the American Frank Tate, as well as, bantamweight Dale Walters won a bronze in that year. One of Canada's most recognizable athletes is going to be super heavyweight Lennox Lewis, who won gold at the Seoul 1988 Olympics, which included a defeat of the American Riddick Bowe. Canada's most recent boxing medal was a silver by heavyweight David Diffie-Agbon at Atlanta in 96. Mary Spencer became the first Canadian woman to compete in Olympic boxing when the events were added to the program in London 2012. However, she did fail the podium. We will, of course, be looking forward to adding some of those podium appearances in the women's column as we move forward in time, of course. But let's take a look at the overall timeline for Canada. We've already mentioned a few of these, including our medalists from 1920 in Antwerp. But the Canadians actually were having a pretty solid run right up until 1932 in LA. So after Antwerp, welterweight Douglas Lewis brought home bronze from Paris in 1924. Welterweight Raymond Smiley, bronze again, 1928 in Amsterdam. Bantamweight Horace Lefty Gwynn, again, gold in the 1932 Los Angeles Games. Now, this brings us into that 52-year drought where we failed to secure any podiums, or 9 Olympics, depending on how you're scoring this, bearing in mind, of course, that the Olympics were not held during the Second World War. It wasn't until the Games were once again held in the City of Angels that Canada would again see a podium in 1984. That would be a light middleweight Sean O'Sullivan with a silver medal. That same year, heavyweight Willie DeWitt. As well, we also had bantamweight Dale Walters with a bronze at that 1984 Olympics, firmly to end our losing streak. The following Olympics, not year after that, super heavyweight Lennox Lewis once again took home gold in 88, securing our first gold medal since 1932. Same Olympics, middleweight Egerton Marcus took home silver, and light middleweight Raymond Downey brought home a bronze medal from Seoul as well. Moving forward into the 90s, we were still going strong. Middleweight Chris Johnson, bronze in 1992 in Barcelona. Light welterweight Marc Leduc also brought home silver in Barcelona. Heavyweight David Diffie-Agbon, once again, silver in 1996 in Atlanta. Sadly, this is for the present kind of where our story ends, as we've missed the podium at Sydney, Athens, Beijing, and London to date. So fingers crossed that we're not, just halfway through another 50-year drought as we're coming up on 25 years here, or that we don't have to wait for the Olympics to return to Atlanta before we see another medal in boxing. Fingers crossed.
From what I'm hearing, it's Our program is top notch. I can't understand why we're not getting to the podium. I know it's kind of like Canadian soccer, where we're often beaten by Honduras or some other incredibly smaller country, and I can't figure that out. But when it comes to boxing, we have a premier program, and we should do well. We should be able to compete, and we should be able to reach the podium.
I do agree with a country with 40 million people. We should be able to find 11 who can kick a ball. We haven't yet. Yeah, we do. The high performance program, and we've covered that, I think, beginning of last week. We talked a little bit about the high performance program and what it takes to get into that, and what that entails. 40 hours a week, minimum commitment. So it's a full time job, and these guys are getting world class training and nutritionists, everything. It is a little surprising that it's been a while. Again, 25 years since a podium. As old as it makes me feel to say the words 1996 was 25 years ago.
Hmm.
It's been a long time since we've seen a podium, but it's not the first time we've seen a drought. So I keep saying, fingers crossed, we're not halfway through another one.
I'd like to see that our women do well. I think Mandy Bujol has a good chance of bringing home gold.
Yeah, no, we've definitely got some contenders, and like I said, I'll be looking forward to adding some stats to the women's column as we move forward. But so far we've only had 2 games so far that actually included the women, so we haven't had a whole lot of medals to hand out just yet. And keep in mind also limited weight classes compared to the men's categories as well.
Yep. All right, it's Friday, so we've got Mike Gore coming up, Neil the Deal, and the Friday night panel, and then the Scoops. We've got a full slate of shows.
Oh yeah, I hope you're not sick of me yet. You've got me. We're chatting again at 7 tonight. So.
That's right. And we've got a well-known boxer, Chris Bird, on that program. So we have to get prepared for that and keep this episode nice and short. I'm looking forward to next week because I really think that every passing day, we're getting closer to the Olympics and closer to someone making a hardcore announcement with respect to them taking place. I think the Japanese Prime Minister said last week he was on side and was going to deliver the Olympics.
From all official sources across the board, from everybody's international federations to to the government of Japan, to the government of Tokyo, the municipal government of Tokyo, to the IOC, everybody at this point in time is saying that we're full steam ahead, that this is going to happen. Yeah. It's kind of the court of public opinion where this is still wavering, and again, it's not the most popular decision right now among the actual people, the population of Tokyo, and just because it's a scary thought to say, yeah, we're going to take all these precautions, but we are still going to be welcoming tens of thousands of people into our city, even if it's not the hundreds of thousands that you would normally get with packed stadiums. There's still a lot of moving parts coming into their city, and that's making people nervous. But from all official standpoints at this point in time, we're full steam ahead. We're going forward.
We are. So I look forward to hearing how other countries are preparing their athletes, in particular their boxers, next week.
Well, actually, I can give you a small. The Brits, for example, the British national team are on their way to Budapest at the moment to compete in a competition in Hungary, cool. In an international competition in Hungary to keep themselves sharp. Seeing as the European qualifier, the second part of that was obviously canceled or to be rescheduled or relocated or whatever it is they come up with for the end of April. Because obviously that was supposed to be London, isn't anymore. So since that's been freed up to keep the team sharp and keep them moving, it was announced, I believe it was either yesterday or today, that they'll be taking part in a competition in Hungary this week, or next week now, I guess.
I'll get hold of our Budapest correspondent, Andrew Toth, and find out if he can give us a report next week.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. I haven't chatted with Andrew in ages.
All right, Christian, we'll see you in a few hours. And to all the good listenership out there,
I'll be here.
Like, share, subscribe. See you.